Hi, this is Lisa and I'm down at the Aqua Hut in Toledo, Ohio. And today we are experiencing what it's like to be part of an ISR swimming class. ISR is Infant Swimming Resource, and I personally have my son Easton, who you see in the background. He is 14 and a half months and he's participating in his first session of ISR, learning how to swim, float, and save himself in case he would ever be in a drowning situation. So he is prepared for anything. Miss Kim is our instructor, and she works with kids of all different ages. I've seen as young as 7 months, all the way up to as old as my oldest, 9-10 years old. Any child can learn this valuable life skill. So Kim, how long have you been an instructor with ISR Swimming?
I've been an instructor for over 10 years.
And what made you decide to go into this field?
My second daughter, when she was about 2, she fell into a sinkhole in a lake. Fortunately, we were able to find her and pull her out. A friend told me about this program, and I looked into it, and so we took her through the program. When my son was about 4 years old, I found the program again, and I put him in it. And while he was going through it, the instructor that was training him, said, "Kim, you should check into becoming an instructor." And it was at a time in my life where he was going into kindergarten, and they needed another instructor up north, and so I decided to become an instructor.
And do you find that you have people on a waiting list to get into this?
I do,
Because
especially
it is
here
limited in this area.
Yes, especially here in this area. It's not as well known. It's becoming more prominent with social media. There's a lot of awareness coming about it, so there's a lot more calls coming out. So we do need more instructors.
And why do you think it's important that parents put their children through this program?
What we believe is this program gives them the last line of defense. If they were to break all other barriers, number one, parental supervision, if they were to go through a locked door, or if they were to get through a gate, if they ended up in the water by themselves, this would give them the skills to self-rescue. So this is really the last line of defense to give the child a chance to survive in the water.
Have you had any children that have had to use this life skill?
Yes. This past summer, I actually had 3 students of my own use the life skill, the self-rescue, in all different parts of the country. One was in a lake, one was in a pool, and one was at the ocean.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so
it must be gratifying to know that you are helping these kids
especially, and the parents too. They call and they're very excited, to know that the skills work, but they're very grateful that they were able to learn them.
Is this her first session of ISR?
This is her second session, actually. She started at 6 months.
So this is a refresher for her.
That is correct.
And have you been in a pool situation over the summer or a vacation situation where you found that this skill has really been beneficial?
We haven't needed it yet, fortunately. I learned about ISR through my sister who lives in Florida, and she has 2 kids that went through the program, and I was lucky enough to experience the lessons with her kids and see how successful it's been for their family. So just the other day I was telling someone what I'm doing with April, and they told me a story about their family and how they were in a pool environment and there was a ton of adults around, and they turned their back for a second and their little boy was missing, and they found him at the bottom of the pool. Luckily he survived, but it was a tough road for him. So certainly spreading the word about ISR swimming is key for our area.
And all 4 of you guys have participated in ISR swimming, correct? That's pretty awesome. Did you guys all do swimming with Miss Kim?
We had Miss Kim, and then we had former instructor Miss Cindy also. She started when she was 14 months. So we've been doing this program for 8 years now.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. And Matt, does it make you feel, are you more at ease with your kids taking this course?
I am. Like Beth said, we've got an above ground pool. So you always get a little nervous when you got kids walking around any kind of pool.
Yes.
So it does, while you still have to keep an eye on them, it does give us kind of a little extra sense of security, knowing that if something were to happen, they've got the skills to help themselves get to a situation where they can, survive some kind of.
Drownings can happen in any body of water. Rivers, lakes, and retention ponds record a startling number of drowning deaths each year. Drowning is the leading cause of accidental death in 18 states, and more than 4,200 children per year go to the ER as a result of an accidental submersion. However, Children as young as 6 months old can learn to save themselves if they reach the water alone. Children who are still at the crawling stage can learn to roll over onto their backs, breathe, and rest until help arrives. Through infant swimming resource classes with certified instructors and simple preventative steps at home, no child has to drown. Not only am I telling you this as someone who has witnessed the classes firsthand, but also as a mother whose 14-month-old son, Easton, was a student and graduate of the program. Since Easton finished the classes with Kim Moore, a dedicated and educated instructor, I feel confident that he would be able to help save himself as a last defense against drowning. For more information, please visit www.infantswim.com.